Every time you book a flight to Paris online, you're probably missing 3 major discounts that could cut your ticket price by up to 40%. At our age, every dollar we save on airfare means more experiences, more comfort, and more trips while we still can. Today, I'm walking you through 3 ways I use to fly to Paris for less, starting with a $65 discount anyone can get right now, regardless of age. Hi, I'm Mary. After years and years of planning our family vacations, I thought I knew everything about saving money on flights to Europe. Turns out, I was wrong. When I retired, we had to be more careful about our spending. When I really dug into ways to save, I was surprised to find out just how much I had missed. The new strategies I discovered have now saved us thousands over the years. And, surprise, these aren't complicated loyalty programs or credit card schemes. These are straightforward tactics that work especially well for us because we have something that younger travelers don't: flexibility. Now, before we dive in, I need to tell you something that might surprise you. There's one strategy in this video that sounds completely backwards. Most people think cash is king, but when it comes to airlines, that advice can cost you thousands of dollars. I'm going to explain exactly why later, and when you hear it, you'll wonder why nobody told you this years ago. But first, let's start with the easiest win. Strategy number 1 is so simple, you'll kick yourself for not knowing about it sooner. It takes about 5 minutes to set up, costs just $20, and can save you $65 to $200 on a single trip. That adds up quick if you take more than one trip. Let me show you. British Airways gives a discount to members of AARP. When I tell people about this, they usually say one of 2 things. Either I'm not old enough for AARP, or why would I use British Airways to go to Paris? Both questions make sense, but both are based on assumptions that are costing you money. Let me explain why. Here's what most people don't know. AARP membership has no age requirement. None. Anyone can join for $20 a year or $15 with auto-renewal. I joined at 52, and it's been one of the best travel investments I've ever made. Now, about British Airways. Yes, they route through London, not direct to Paris, but sometimes that routing works perfectly with your schedule. And when it does, this discount is pure gold. And stick with me, because in a few minutes, I'm revealing the strategy I use for non-stop flights that can save you even more. But first, here's exactly what you get with the British Airways discount. If you book economy or premium economy round trip on British Airways, you get $65 off. That's 4 years of AARP membership paid for with one flight. If you book business class, and we'll talk about when that makes sense, you get $200 off. Now, here's how you actually claim this. Step 1, join AARP online. Takes 5 minutes. Step 2, go to the AARP Travel Center portal. They have a dedicated page for British Airways. Step 3, book your round-trip flight. Before you purchase, make absolutely sure you see the word discounted applied to your fare. If you don't see it, stop and call their customer service. As a bonus, your AARP membership also gets you discounts at many hotels. A sweet double dip. This is your money, and you've earned it. Now, that AARP discount is fantastic, but here's my honest take. For trips to Paris, I strongly prefer nonstop flights. Less stress, less chance of delays, and frankly, at our age, the fewer connections, the better. So that brings us to strategy number 2, which is more powerful, but requires a bit more explanation. Using airline miles is the strategy that's going to save you the most money. This strategy doesn't work every time, but when it does, oh my. When I first heard about buying airline miles, I thought it was a scam. Seriously. I figured miles were something you earned by flying constantly, like business travelers do. Buying them? That seemed ridiculous. Why would I pay real money for fake airline points? But then, a fellow teacher showed me her booking confirmation for premium economy to Paris. I had been searching for tickets, and the cash cost was $2,587 round trip. But she said she paid only $1,590 by buying miles. For the same seats! She saved $997, almost $1,000. Same exact flight, same exact seat. Wow. I needed to understand how this worked. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you actual price comparisons that still blow my mind to this day. This one strategy changed how I go about booking every international flight. Here's the concept in plain English. Airlines want to sell miles because it gives them cash immediately. They hope to get that cash now and hope to give you a seat sometime later. Of course, we'll outsmart them by using miles the right way. So a few times a year, they run sales where you can buy miles at a discount. Then you use those miles to book tickets instead of paying cash. Now, this doesn't always save you money, and I'll tell you exactly when it does and doesn't work. But when it works, the savings can be substantial. Here are some real numbers. I prefer non-stop, refundable tickets. So I just looked up prices for flights like this from San Francisco to Paris. Let's start with economy class. During off-peak season, using airline miles saves 38%. During peak season, the savings is even better at 40%. Personally, I much prefer to fly premium economy on longer flights. For these tickets, the off-peak savings is very good at 39%. During peak season, the savings drops to 29%. Still decent. I'd take it if that was the only time I could fly. Now, business class seats. Watch carefully, there is an important lesson here. Off-peak looks okay, with a savings of 24% when using miles. But peak season? In this case, you actually lose money by using miles. It is not always cheaper to use miles. Always do your homework. So here's what I've learned. For long-haul flights to Paris, and we're talking 11 hours in the air, premium economy is your sweet spot. It's comfortable enough that you arrive feeling human. It's available to book with miles more often than business class, and the savings are real. Business class sounds nice, but unless you find an off-peak deal, you're likely paying a premium with those miles. Economy does save you money, but after 11 hours, you might regret it. Premium economy? That's where the value lives for people like us. Now stay with me, because I'm about to tell you the 3 non-negotiable rules before you buy a single mile. Break these and you'll lose money. Rule number 1, only buy miles during a sale. Airlines run 2 to 3 sales per year. Never, ever pay full price. Rule number 2, and this is the most important one, confirm the flight is available first. Log into the airline's website, or better yet, call. Search for your exact dates. Make absolutely sure the seat you want is bookable with miles before you buy anything. This is where people mess up. They buy miles hoping a seat opens up. Don't do that. Rule number 3, miles are non-transferable. Once you buy them or transfer them from a credit card, they're locked into that airline forever. You can't move them, you can't refund them. So be certain and have a backup plan to use them in case your first plan falls through. Luckily, miles are flexible, and because of your senior superpower, so are you. Remember at the beginning when I said there's one strategy that sounds backwards? This is it. You're confirming availability before you buy miles, which means you're checking if something actually exists before you pay for it. Airlines are more than happy to sell you miles that you can't even use. Before paying anything, do your homework. But here's why it works. Airline seats available for miles disappear fast. If you find one, you need to be ready to grab it within hours, not days. So you check first, then immediately buy miles during a sale, then immediately book. It feels weird, but it works. And that protection I mentioned earlier? In most programs, tickets booked with miles are almost always refundable with a modest fee. So if something happens, health issues, family emergency, anything, you can get your miles back. That peace of mind is worth everything at our stage of life. Now maybe you're thinking, Mary, this miles thing sounds complicated. Isn't there something simpler? Yes, there absolutely is. Strategy number 3 is old-fashioned, totally straightforward, and it works on almost every major airline. You ready? Add another city to your trip. More specifically, you can buy a round-trip ticket that arrives and departs from different cities. For example, you could fly into Paris and leave from Athens. Visit 2 cities in one trip. These are called open-jaw tickets. And here's a strange fact. These can even be cheaper than regular round-trip tickets. They exist, they're real, but they're largely invisible. Why? Maybe they're harder to advertise or something like that? While I may not know the real reason for this, I do know how to find them. This strategy requires about 15 minutes and some of that most important senior superpower we keep talking about, flexibility. Because you never know which combinations will save the most money. Here's exactly what you do. When searching for tickets, say on Google Flights, select multi-city instead of round trip. Then select different combinations of arrival and departure cities. Some combos will be more expensive, but some will be significantly cheaper. Even switching which city you visit first can result in savings. So try all the combinations. For example, as you saw earlier, a round trip to Paris in premium economy costs $2,570. If you fly into Paris and out of Athens, the price drops to $2,150. Factoring in about $100 for a flight from Paris to Athens, you are still saving over $300 by adding a city. Crazy. And here's a bonus tip that goes with this. You can use airline miles to do this. Why? Because airline miles offer a sort of fixed price. The miles required depends on the regions you are flying between. Since both Paris and Athens are in the Europe region, the cost to mix and match is almost identical. The only difference is airport taxes, which is why you never fly out of London. Even when using miles, they still stick you with airport taxes. And the airport departure tax when departing from London has got to be the most ridiculous in the world. Most other places are reasonable, but watch for this. Okay, let's walk through this as if you're actually planning your trip. It's January and you want to go to Paris next October, off-peak season. Perfect. First thing you do, join AARP for $20. Takes 5 minutes. Check. Next, you search for flights on British Airways through the AARP portal. You find a round trip with one connection through London for $1,815 in premium economy. Apply your $65 discount. Now it's $1,750. That's option 1. But you want to explore non-stop flights. So you check the Air France app on your phone. You look specifically for award availability. That's flights you can book with miles. You find a non-stop Air France premium economy seat available for miles. The cash price is $2,571. You do this while Air France miles are on sale and your math tells you that the ticket cost using miles, with all taxes and fees accounted for, is $1,574. That's option 2. Then you search for combinations of cities you might want to visit in the same trip. The best combination you find is $1,735 for a trip that includes both Paris and Athens. Not a bad cash price, but still more than the miles option. In this scenario, buying miles saves you the most money and gets you a non-stop premium economy seat. That's how you put it all together. Now, I need to be straight with you about something. These prices I've shown you, they're based on availability at the time of publication. Ticket prices change constantly. Routes, dates, competition, it all matters. So you must do your own homework for your specific trip. Don't assume the miles will always be cheaper. Sometimes they're not. Run the numbers, compare. You have to put in the work to realize the savings. But here's what I want you to understand. You now have tools most travelers don't even know exist. You have options. You have strategies. And most importantly, you have the knowledge to stop overpaying. That's power. Here's my challenge to you. Before you book your next flight to Europe, try one of these strategies. Just one. Join AARP and check their British Airways portal. Or check to see if open-jaw tickets can reduce the cost. Start small, build your confidence, and watch the savings add up. You've earned this trip. You've earned the right to do it smartly. And Paris is waiting for you. I'll see you there. Safe travels.